Hello there! This is Raging Joe. This is a month and a half late. Wait, what am I talking about? Not a month and a half. That would be half of a year late.
Because this guy's lazy.
Yes, we're both lazy. Actually, I'm lazy. I'm the one who's supposed to bring everyone together to do these videos, but you know what? I would make a whole big spiel about how we're so sorry for not, being... I'm so sorry for not bringing everyone here, but... You know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna jump right in. Here I am going to read a story. And I'm going to read it in the most hilarious tone I can. Because this is a scary story, so it's supposed to be written hilarious. This is the story of Buttercup.avi. One night, quite a while ago, I was invited to dinner at a friend's house who happened to be the nephew of Craig McCracken, the creator of the Powerpuff Girls. Why do I sound like someone from that very show? The party was pleasant, and I was in for a surprise when Mr. McCracken himself was one of the guests. You can totally ask him about this, and he'll say, yes, I do have a nephew. He totally will. As a teenage girl, I was absolutely obsessed with the show, because I was a teenage girl at one point in time. Totally. I would hog the TV for the premiere of every episode and yell at my younger brothers if they so much as said a word before the commercial break. Because fuck commercials.
You damn little bastards. Why must you talk?
Yes, I will strangle you. I will wring your necks. I will rip out your spines and hang them from the outside of the house as Christmas decorations, you little fucks.
I will kill you with bare hands.
I will kill you dead. Right, story. Anyways, upon... Wait, where was I? Being a somewhat moody, spunky teen, Buttercup was always my favorite of the three girls. A little break of here, she was always my favorite too. I loved her sarcasm and her edginess. Upon meeting Mr. McCracken, I told him what a big fan I was, and that I was ecstatic to meet him. But he seemed very uninterested, and was speaking in a vague, rushed tone, no matter what we were speaking of. I suppose it was because all of the show's fans could be quite annoying, so I backed off. Somewhere, a bit later into the night, Mr. McCracken left hurriedly, not noticing that he left a small envelope with a single disc inside. I looked around quickly before taking the disc, thinking of the possibility of this being another cartoon, invented by the genius behind Powerpuff Girls. Lauren Faust? Who's that? After the party was over, I rushed home to see what this mysterious disc had in store for me. With my hands trembling, I lifted the shiny disc from the envelope, and my heart fluttered in delight when I saw that the DVD had been Buttercup.avi written on it in a purple Sharpie. Da-da-da-da! I just had to. Buttercup, as I said before, had always been my favorite, and I was incredibly anxious to watch this episode. That, for one reason or another, had not been realized, but left next to a chair at the dinner party. I put the disc into my DVD player and started instantly. No title screen, no credits, nothing. The episode started off oddly. The colors had been dulled down to an almost sepia tone, and the house looked all wrong. The windows were busted out, and the walls looked dirty. There were small reddish-brown footprints going up the wall to the middle upstairs window. How could they be footprints? They don't have feet. They have little balls on the ends of their legs. Confused and creeped out, I continued watching. The camera zoomed in to the house, which looked even worse than in the inside. Professor Utonium was sitting on the floor, sobbing. He looked up into the camera, his eyes looking too realistic for even the most advanced animation at the time, and he had this horrid, pained expression on his usually smiling face. Buttercup, why? What have you done? What have you done to your sisters? Why? Why? Why?
She forced them to watch the new SpongeBob stuff.
Hey, shh. Hey, I like the new... Okay, I haven't seen any of the new stuff, but I actually I like the new stuff. Let's just leave it at that. Oh yeah, unpopular opinions. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He sounded genuinely like someone that had lost everything. Because this is a voice that sounds like someone that has lost everything.
Get off my lawn.
Including my lungs. Because I lost my lungs to, lung cancer. And my heart hurt for him. Behind him sat the corpses of Blossom and Bubbles, horribly mangled. Because, you know, for something to be scary, there has to be a dead body. There's nothing there's nothing like psychological horror. There's no timing. No, it's just dead body. Oh, and it's not just dead. Blossom was missing one eye, and a photorealistic blood dripped from her empty eye socket. Her limbs were broken and twisted at unnatural angles. Her heart had been cut out and laid beside her, and blood stained her pink dress where her heart had been. Bubbles was killed in a similar fashion, except for the fact that both of her eyes were missing, and shoved down her throat, and her legs were torn off.
I could care less about Blossom, but Bubbles! No.
Bubbles!
She's my favorite.
Buttercup, you're a bitch.
Continue.
Oh, Buttercup, you rapscallion. Disturbed more than I had been in my entire life, maybe. Maybe? You're not sure? I began to feel sick for my stomach. Oh, my stomach. But I knew I had to keep watching. The camera then cuts to Buttercup, whose eyes were also very realistic, like Professor Utonium's. She had an unusually heartless, bitter look in those all-too-realistic green eyes, and a twisted smile on her face. Obviously the one who made the Stalker Lou Tumblr account made these eyes, 'cause seriously, she makes a really goddamn good art. Plugging! She was stained with blood from head to toe. She tilted her head up very slowly, then a maniacal laughter left her mouth, ringing throughout the room and my mind. Didn't you see it coming, Professor? I'm sure all of her adoring fans did. She spat, sounding disgusted at the words adoring fans. They were so annoying, with their constant happiness, their love of always being in the spotlight, always being nice and good and perfect. I hated it! For years it disgusted me, but not anymore, Professor, not anymore! Professor Utonium continued sobbing, and the horrid sound grew louder and louder, until a green streak with a silver glint flew across the screen. The professor's disembodied head then flew at the camera, his eyes staring directly at me for the remainder of the video before cutting to black. Thinking it was over, I went to turn off the TV. But I stopped when I heard the sounds of screaming and singing. Blossom and Bubbles' screams were quiet, as Buttercup's voice was loudly singing. Hush, little babies, don't say a word. Mommy's gonna kill you and make you a bird. If those corpses just don't burn, Mommy's gonna bury you beneath the ferns. Throughout the words were cheesy. The sound of Buttercup singing and the eyes of her and the professor still haunt my dreams. Well, little lady, you obviously don't know what good horror is, because this was goddamn cheesy the whole way through. Doorknob, what are your opinions on this travesty?
What?
What are your opinions on this travesty?
I don't know, just continue on.
What? You just a what one?
Yes.
Exactly.
Figured you would have known that to me right now.
Yes, you're the quiet one, but you're always the one who gives, like, input at the end. Ugh, burp.
Not really.
True. But honestly, what did you think of this story? On the horror scale, I know you're not much of a horror-esque person, liker thing stuff, but what would you rate this on the scary scale from 1 to 10? 3 it is. For me, I'd go the same. 3. Because honestly, dark setting. Honestly, if it wasn't a dark setting, it would have been scarier because, I mean, I'm one of the people who, like, you don't expect something to be scary if it's all bright and cheery and happy. That's why Cupcakes actually, is, silly it is as it is. I think it's silly. It rates higher than this because, the beginning of the fanfic was all cheery and happy. I didn't expect it to go into all the bloody gory details of Pinkie Pie baking Rainbow Dash into cupcakes. This, it just jumps straight in and jumps straight out, actually. I mean, it just seems like it abruptly ends. There could have been more, like, psychological torture and all that kind of stuff, like making the Professor Unicorn feel like it truly has lost everything, with, Buttercup, like, probably destroying Townsville, and, like, seeing his own creation that for so long had, helped protect the city, be the one to end it, and then, I laugh in the Professor's face, then, like, cut his dick off or something, I don't know. Anyways, that was our triumphant return to the world of the Raging Joes. I am Raging Joe, and this is Doorknob.
Hi.
And we are out of here. Goodbye, YouTube. Have a good night, because it's 4:35 a.m. and I haven't slept.
Jackasses.
Let's sleep now. Night, Doorknob.
Night.